Hi everyone, it's time for another fun-filled, energetic YouTube vid. You have reached the end of your free trial membership at the Letter 15 Productions. For my last video of 2015, I did a thing where I turned off most of my lights except for the background lights, and made a low-key video, unscripted, just a couple thoughts reflecting on the year. And I thought it was a nice way to end the year with just a little bit more authenticity than usual. So I'm doing it again. 2016 was a bad year by most accounts. Most people seem to agree that 2016, not a great year. For the sake of not getting political, I am going to refrain from citing Donald Trump as one of the reasons that 2016 was a bad year. Totally refraining. I didn't go there. Not political. So yeah, the year's been bad. People have been unhappy with the quality of the year. What that gets me thinking about is any of this worth it, you know? Is life worth it? Is the universe worth it? Why do we exist? Why does anything exist? Do we matter? What's the point of it all? Why am I here? How many more questions am I going to list? A lot more questions? Question mark? That was a question, because I put a question mark. It wasn't phrased as a question, but there was a question mark. What I've kept coming back to are the good moments. The things, to me, that seem like the most worth it. The most, like, they matter, not universally, but, like, personally, are just, like, little moments of beauty or connection or, you know, wonder, or other words that sound cheesy and or pretentious. I recently heard sort of the feeling of those moments encapsulated perfectly in the Watsky song, Talking to Myself.
There were moments. There were these pure arresting moments when you stepped outside your head, outside your pain, outside control, outside the bones.
No profanity in my videos. I caught ya, Watsky. You're not getting away with that here on my YouTube channel. So the question is, does the good outweigh the bad? Especially when it's a year like 2016, where the bad seems to be very prominent. Because we've got utilitarianism, right? Which is like the idea that we should do whatever maximizes the happiness or well-being of conscious beings. So, if everything's awful, and the good part of the world, the good parts are just like these moments, then is the utilitarian thing to do, you know, the destruction of the universe. Maybe that's why Trump got elected. No political bias here, no political bias at all. The thing, to me, is that those moments of, you know, beauty or connection or other pretentious words, those moments feel profound and meaningful and important to me, whereas the bad moments are just sort of muddled and muted and not as important for... Now I'm thinking about the thing I just said, and I don't entirely agree with the thing I just said, but I feel like the good moments feel larger than the bad moments. They feel, like, vast and, big. You know, as infinite as a quote from a young adult's novel. So I don't think the utilitarian math works out. I don't think we can say that if we have a bunch of bad moments and only a couple good moments, that it's not worth it. The logical part of my mind likes to tell me that's not true. That, you know, a moment being beautiful does not make it any larger than a non-beautiful Trump moment. But, no bias. But the, less logical side of my mind, which is most of it, I'm human, tells me that we assign things value, and nothing has, you know, intrinsic value, so if I'm gonna value the good moments, then, like, that's great, that's good, this is still logical. This is still the logical side of my mind. Basically what I'm saying is that I think we should not destroy the universe, because, you know, there are some moments when I actually quite like the universe. A whole lot. I will see you next year. Don't destroy the universe, please.
One day you opened up your eyes. Inside of you, inside a world, inside a universe. You didn't get to choose. You didn't get to pick the rules or pick the past or set the pace